It's about to get Gabby AF.
We about to get Gabby AF, Gabby AF. We about to get Gabby AF, Gabby AF.
Hello, welcome back into Gabby AF. We have a brand new episode for you. I'm very excited about this one. I've been trying to get this man on to join, and it's no perfect time. You've seen him everywhere, and he's absolutely crushing it right now. Mike Santana joins me for the first time on Gabby AF. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah, what's good? What's good?
I'm so excited to have you. I'm wearing my New York gear for you.
Hell yeah.
You know, I always knew when I met you I was going to like you because you had the New York swag, the talk. We kind of just feel each other out, I feel like, when we see each other.
Absolutely. Yeah, we hit it off since day one, and I remember doing like Busted Open and stuff like that. Yeah, so always good vibes.
Yeah, now it's just me, and now it's just Gabby, which is even better if you ask me.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I love
Do
that.
your own thing. It's always good to do your own thing. I'm a firm like advocate of all that. So
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy where we both are now from when we
yeah.
did meet like so long ago. If you think about like where you've come to now and, you know, you're all over the place. We have to dive into specifically, obviously, I got to see you. I did some work with TNA recently and saw you in person, but I didn't know I was going to be seeing you on NXT that following Tuesday. You didn't tell me. No one kind of threw that at us. So
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that. I know I don't think you're done there, so we'll get into that a little bit. But were you like talk a little bit about that came to be, and were you like shocked when you were told that this was going to happen? Kind of bring us to that mindset of when that happened.
Honestly, like I had heard rumblings about there being interest in doing some crossover stuff, and for me, like, you know, I've been doing this a long time, so I'm the type of like I take everything with a grain of salt, and when it happens, and I try not to get too overly excited about things, you know, because in wrestling things change so quickly, right? So, you know, when I first heard rumblings, I was like, great, you know, when it happens, but until then, I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and that's, you know, putting in work. So, um, and yeah, finally, when things started getting put together, uh, you know, they started communicating with me. They meaning TNA, and then you know NXT through them, and yeah, I was just all about it. I was like, you know, any opportunity for me to represent myself and represent, you know, the company I work for is always a plus for me. And you know, it was going to be my first time under the WWE umbrella, and that was, you know, exciting, of course. But honestly, like I went into it with the mindset of, um, you know, it's another day at the office, you know, and this is what I do, and of course I was excited, and I was looking forward to being in front of a new audience, and I was kind of nervous of like, are they gonna know who I am, or are they gonna, you know, be excited for me and all that stuff, because that's just the mindset of every performer, right? But at the end of the day, I was also with the mindset of I'm going to worry about the things that I can control, which is my performance and what I put out. Everything else, let go and let God, right?
Right.
But yeah, man, it was exciting, and it got a great response and a great reaction, and yeah.
No, it did. I was going to say, like, it went, I'm sure, you know, first of all, you were the first challenger really after Trick had won. So we didn't know who was going to show up. We knew someone from TNA was going to challenge him. And so that must have been a little bit even more pressure because you were the guy that they were like, we're throwing you out there first to kind of, because I think it did shock, especially the TNA fan base when he beat Joe Hendry. Like, I'm sure even as you, you know, a part of the TNA roster, were you shocked? How angry were you to see Trick win? Like, what were your feelings backstage when you saw that happen? Because this is someone who's not full time on a TNA roster. You don't see every single week, and they decided to put the strap on him. Like, how was that when you watched it and you saw that happen?
Yeah, I was sitting backstage in a small room with with some of the production guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it happened, I was like, I posted a picture of me watching, you know, the TV as he's raising the title, and I remember just saying like, I have to be the guy to bring it back. even at that moment, I was like, I have to be the guy. I have to, um, TNA has been so great to me, and I have a lot of history there, and I'm thankful that they gave me the opportunity to come back and be on this new journey of mine. So I felt like, of course, I was upset, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trick is who he is, you know what I mean? And but yeah, I was just like, yo, I got to do this for me. I got to do this for the brand.
Yeah.
And that was the mindset right away. I was like, all right, now the work starts,
Yeah. I mean, it is crazy to see someone who's full time on like a WWE NXT roster
Hmm.
carrying the TNA belt with him on these shows. But also, we didn't even see him on TNA like the following right after. Is this something that you think, um, especially, being in the locker room, these kinds of things, like, is there like something about Trick that everyone kind of wants a piece of at this point? Because how is that really settling well with the roster to see someone who's not, put in the work for TNA, doesn't have the history, isn't showing up every
Yeah.
single week, carrying that belt? Like, there's got to be some, obviously you want it from him, but there's got to be some animosity with that, especially for Trick Williams, who's, this cocky guy walking around with it, thinking
Yeah.
he, deserves it.
Yeah, I think that's the worst part is the arrogance, right?
Hmm.
Like everyone in that TNA locker room, especially the guys that have been there for years, have put in work and have you know, all in their own right earned a spot and earned their opportunity to go after that title, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But to see someone like that doesn't really represent us, he
Right.
represents himself, you know what I
Hmm.
mean? And when you carry that TNA title, you represent yourself and the brand. And I feel like he has that one track mindset of just this is about me and I'm doing this for myself and to each his own, right? Everyone's different. You can't
Hmm.
expect everyone to have that mindset, but um yeah, man, like the locker room ain't happy. I'll be the
Yeah.
first to tell you.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
feel.
and I think he knows that. And I think he
Mhm.
knows that because a lot of guys in the locker room, we don't shy away from the way we feel, and we're very vocal, and that's always been the case. So.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's not over between you two. I don't know if you feel that way or not, but I feel like you are not probably going to stop until that title's yours. So are
Absolutely.
so are we going to see some more I know you can't give spoilers or say anything, but are you planning on continuing to kind of hopefully keep continuing these crossovers with NXT if until it take whatever it takes to get that belt back to bring it
Abs-
home to TNA?
Absolutely. I the last time, when right before I had the title match with Trick, I said in my interview, I was like, I made a promise to my daughter that I would be coming home TNA World Champion, and I didn't specify when, but I did make that promise, and unfortunately, guys like First Class, they wanted to get involved a little bit and they thought that I broke that promise to my daughter, but I'm just getting started with everything. I'm just
Yeah.
getting started, and yeah, man, I'm bringing home that title.
Listen, you mentioned First Class. Here's the thing, and I've had AJ on my show before.
Yeah.
We're cool, whatever. But those are some people you can actually handle in your own locker room. You're gonna have to see
Oh yeah.
at
Oh yeah.
TNA. You know what I mean? Like they're just harping on to
Hmm.
like the BS and this kind of stuff. Like I feel like you got to handle them a little bit because they're just kind of leeching on to this feud you got going on with Trick right now, and you got to handle them in your own backyard, don't you think?
Absolutely. And that's gonna get handled. Like
Yeah.
I told AJ and I told KC, I was like, yo, y'all living in my world now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they obviously haven't watched the show and they haven't seen, what I've done in the past to people who have gotten in my business. But when you mess around, you find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited to. I'm looking forward to it. I know TNA's in Pittsburgh this weekend. I'm sure it's
Yep.
going to be some cool shows happening, some good stuff going on.
Hmm.
But you mentioned a lot about your journey. I feel like this is a brand new chapter for you. You've kind of been open about that, a little bit more
Yeah.
open than I feel like you have been in your past, which is
absolutely
awesome to see. Talk about, because even me knowing you, I just feel like you're genuinely happy now, like authentically happy and where you are in your career and what you're doing. Talk a little bit about how you are now in that mindset and why you're so happy with TNA and so proud to be a part of the TNA roster.
I mean, personally, like I've done so much work on myself to get to where I am today. You know, and they always say sometimes you have to hit the bottom in order for you to rise, right?
Yeah.
And I definitely hit the bottom. And looking back on it now is like I had to go through all those things. I had to. Because it was the only way that I was gonna learn to grow and learn to appreciate what I do have. And yeah, man, like I wake up every day and I look at it as a fresh start and as a blessing, you know, and I'm like I back when I was you know in rehab, there was a group leader that would talk about, you know, when someone gets sober and someone, you know, changes their life around, there's this like aura, there's this like this thing that you could see and you could feel, right? And she was like, that's called serenity. And I live that every day. Like I truly feel that. And yeah, it's wild because like I lived so long of my life in such a dark place. So now it's like I embrace this, you know what I mean? And I love it every day. And just with my journey and everything I'm doing professionally, like I while I was out with my injury and handling my, you know, my personal life and stuff like that, I put together a plan for myself. I was like, okay, I got my life together. I'm gonna come back stronger and better than ever. This is the plan that I set forth for myself, and this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to do. And so far, it's been hitting on all cylinders, you know, and I've been checking things off, and everything has been going according to plan, thank God. And with TNA, man, like when I got back with TNA, um, you know, we had meetings, and I told them where my head was at, and yeah, and thankfully they've given me the opportunity to show what I can do on my own, and everything has been paying off, thankfully. And yeah, I'm in a good place overall, and I keep saying it, like I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
Like I truly feel that way.
Which is, you can see it too, like on TV. I always feel like if I'm watching a wrestler who truly is happy where he is or enjoys what he's doing, like you can tell when you watch almost. Like you get that emotional investment in them because they're emotional because they care so much about what they're doing. And it comes through on the screen 1,000%. And it is so interesting for you to say you're just getting started because you have been wrestling for so long. It is like a wild concept. So if people were starting to watch you right now and maybe didn't see you before in your history or what you've been doing, like what do you want them to know about you? Like what's the one thing you would say?
I'm a man, you put me on the spot.
Well, I mean, that's what we do here. It's questioning
Yeah,
it. You know what I mean?
yeah, I feel you. You're good at your job.
Thanks.
I think I'm a man built off passion.
Yeah.
And I'm addicted to greatness, and that's what I'm chasing, you know. And if you're just getting into what I'm doing, I'd say go all the way back to the first day that I stepped foot back into TNA. I've had a great indie run, you know, like I've been killing it on the indies and with places like House of Glory and stuff like that. And yeah, just start there, because like that's like to me that's like that's been the start of it all, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an exciting time.
Yeah, no, I mean 100%. I mean, you mentioned House of Glory. You were just at the representing at the Puerto Rican Day Parade with House of Glory, which I thought was
Yeah,
pretty cool, by the way. We saw a lot of pro wrestlers kind of representing their culture and like how
yeah,
much it means to them. Someone else that was there, obviously Zelina Vega, Damian Priest, all these people.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see you step in the ring with Damian Priest. Just saying. It could be kind of like, a culture bash up, see who's better, represents,
yeah.
better. I don't know if you guys, have you ever, is that ever something, is there every, honestly, well, I'll make this a bigger question. Are there people on your bucket list of that you want to make sure you face before you hang it up in your career? Would he be one of them because of the ties, or is there anybody like that on your?
I mean, yeah, for me, I'm like, there's one dream match that
Ooh,
I have left.
okay.
I've had a lot of them. Thankfully, I've been, fortunate in my career that I've worked with some amazing people and a lot of people that I got to grow up watching and stuff. But there's one dream match that I've put out there before, and I hope, happens, and that's with AJ Styles.
Mm,
Like, to me, that's the ultimate. That's the top right there. Of course, I'd love to work with Priest and a few other guys. I haven't met Priest personally, like in person. We've shared a few things back and forth on
yeah.
Instagram and stuff, but he seems like a cool dude, and we got that New York thing, right? So
100%.
yeah,
I love
so
that so much. I just want every New Yorker to fight each other because I don't think that there's
yeah,
anything more entertaining than
yeah.
some pissed off New Yorkers trying to get gritty in the ring. There's nothing better, honestly, if you ask me.
This is
But
true. This is true.
speaking of New York, we got Slamversary coming to New York.
Yeah.
Listen, it's Long Island, so I don't know if I count it as like New York, like our kind of New York. You know what
No,
I mean?
yeah.
Because Long Island is its own.
For me, it's funny because people say Long Island. This is like right on the border of Queens. I consider it more
True.
Queens than Long Island, to be
True.
honest. Um, so I've been saying New York City, whatever.
Yeah.
If like
That
it's right,
whatever was so New
yeah.
York coded, by the way.
It's right there. I consider it Queens. So
Yeah. Um, how, by the way, Queens, do you like Mets or Yankees? Because then we have to, do you even like baseball?
I mean, I haven't followed baseball
It's
since my
boring.
father passed away, but
Yeah.
like I live literally 10-minute walk to Yankee Stadium. So
That's wild.
yeah,
I,
I I hate it because of the traffic during game days, but
oh my gosh. Yeah. I feel like it's a big divide between if you're a Mets fan or a Yankees fan.
of
Just,
course.
but also, like, I'm a Mets fan, but it's because my father was a Mets fan. Like, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's not, and I'm also not a hater. Like, if I like one New York team, I don't hate the other. Where there's
No,
like
of course.
I just want every New Yorker to win at something. Like, but Yankees blew it last year, so uh,
Some of the best times were those Subway series, man. Like that
oh
was
my
like
god, yeah.
I was watching a documentary on the 2000 Subway series.
Hmm.
It's like I remember the city during that time. It was insane.
Yeah,
Everyone was going crazy.
yeah.
Um, but good times, good times.
I mean, look at what just happened with the Knicks. It was,
Oh
I couldn't
yeah.
even get in and out of the city because people
Yeah.
were like standing up on the stuff, and like I was like, oh my god. And I'm not even like big into NBA, but
Yeah.
like if the Knicks are winning and you have to root for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
shouldn't have even been where they were. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Do you even like other sports? I haven't even asked you this, and I'm just talking about.
I don't really follow sports, no.
Oh,
I
that's
don't.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, man, when I'm not on the road, I'm
Yeah.
being a dad. Like I'm just
Yeah.
so and also just catching up on other things. But yeah, like I said, I haven't followed sports since my dad passed away. So because that was like his big thing, and I would follow along with him and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, happy belated Father's Day, by the way, because it just passed.
thank you,
So,
appreciate it.
of course. I mean, you mentioned and you've been posting your daughter, and she's so beautiful, and you are obviously a great dad.
Thank you.
Um, what would you ever want her to be in the wrestling world? Does she have any interest because she sees dad crushing it and she's kind of into it now?
She loves wrestling more than I do.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, nah.
Uh-oh.
She no, she's definitely in that mode of like really getting into it, and she watches it almost every day.
Wow.
Um, she pays attention to everything that I do. I mean, she's been involved since she was born, right? Like she's been going to
Right.
shows since, she was months old. And and I love that she finds it so cool that she gets to watch me on TV and see me do all these things. And
Yeah.
um but yeah, like, I don't know, she says she wants to wrestle, and right now she's in gymnastics, and she's like, I'm just doing this because I want to wrestle.
Wow.
But I don't know, I'm kind of nervous about
Yeah.
it.
It's
you
so
know
funny. Every time I ask a pro wrestler who has children, like I feel like it's one way or the other. The kid is so into it, or the
yeah,
kid has like zero interest in it whatsoever.
no, yeah,
And
yeah.
and I'm like, do you want them to be? And sometimes it's a flat no, like absolutely not. Because
Hmm.
I've been in it, I see what goes on.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
especially being a girl in any kind of sports, it's a little scary because
yeah,
it's a crazy business.
yep, yep.
Um, but I mean, I feel like if it was me and it was my dad, like, how do you not like just love it so much because you
Yeah.
see your dad thrive and it's so exciting to watch and to like be a part of it. So who knows? We might see her, world champion in 10 years. She might have a
Who
better career
knows?
than you one day. You never
Yo,
know.
legit, legit. Then I know I did a good job.
Right. Does she have favorites already? Like who she's like, Dad, I love her, or he's the best.
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, she's like obsessed.
All the usuals.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
Another
much.
Jersey girl, Liv Morgan, so we gotta love her too.
Yeah, right.
Well, I do at least.
Nah, she uh yeah, like, she was asking me when, cause she's gone with me to like train before. I've
Mhm.
taken her with me, and like I would train a class, and she's like, Dad, why you yell at everyone so much? And I'm like, yo, if I'm training you, it's gonna be worse. So
Right.
nah, but she man, it's yeah,
That's a lot.
she's great.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, I'm excited to see it because you see all these things where it's like,
Yeah,
eh, I don't know. I'm excited for that. And like the older she gets, it's gonna be cool to
yeah,
see. I feel like you might step back from training at some point because you're gonna be like, honestly, I probably a lot of the times they're like, I don't want to train my kid because they
yeah,
have to learn from someone that they can like yell at. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
even with my dad played pro soccer and I played soccer my whole life. I wouldn't listen to him, but any other coach
yeah, yeah,
I would
yeah,
listen to because it's like
yeah.
kind of that.
I think the main thing that would steer me away from her wanting to be in the business is just like, it's a and it's with anything. Anything is tough, right? When you get into it
Yeah.
and stuff. I think for me is like, I don't want her to feel the pain that I feel.
Mm.
I don't want her, and because like when I got into wrestling, the first thing my trainer told me was like, get ready for a life of pain because you're gonna be in pain every day.
What an intro.
And yeah, right. I was like, thanks, appreciate it. But um, no, also like, and it's all in how you raise them and
Of
how you
course.
get them ready, right? But I don't know. And again, the business is changing so much, right? So who knows how it's going to be in 10 years. And
Yeah.
um but yeah, I think that's the main thing. Like, I told her, if you really want to get into it, like, always have a backup. I think that for me, like, I went straight to wrestling school after high school,
Hmm.
and I dove right in. Like, I dedicated everything to this,
Yeah.
and I want her to have the option,
Right.
so
Well, and they always say, an injury can happen at any time.
yeah,
Like life can throw things at you at any time. Always to have something to fall back on has to
yeah,
be the smart move, especially you've been in it and you've had the experiences of
mm-hmm,
getting injured, going through the bad times. So like she's lucky to have you to like guide her in those things because some people
yeah,
just have no clue
yeah.
like what kind of advice to give. So it's definitely good. I think she's going to be set. I'm actually excited for it, but but yeah, so Slammiversary is going to be in New York.
Hmm.
I'm excited. I think you're going to get a pretty huge reception at Slammiversary considering you are a New York guy. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I would like to see it. I know we don't know anything on the roster. We don't know any matches, anything like that, but
hmm.
I think you got to take that title back from Trick at New York. It's just poetry at this time, at this moment, right?
A lot of people have been saying that. A lot of people, and it's a good feeling, right? It's
Hmm.
it's definitely a good feeling. It just shows, that people are paying attention, right?
Right.
Which is good. But yeah, I told myself, like, that's what I'm working towards. I want to be in the main event at Slammiversary. Last Slammiversary, I got screwed out of being in the main event.
Oh, really?
right? Yeah. So I was in a qualifier match to be in the multi-man match for the title in the main event, and I got screwed out of it. So what better story to be told that like I got screwed out of the first year, and I
Yeah.
build myself back up and make it to this main event. But yeah, like you said, the story is there, right?
Right.
And the people have been following it and getting behind it, and I guess time will tell, right?
Isn't it crazy what like a year can do to
Insane,
insane? And it
insane.
doesn't even feel like that long ago, honestly. I'm sure
No,
not
yeah,
even for you. And you're just like, how did I get back here and in a
yeah,
completely different position than what I
yeah.
was in last year? It's
Especially in wrestling, like things move so quick and
yeah,
so much happens in such a little time.
yeah.
So yeah, like I was sitting down the other day just reflecting a little bit, and I'm like, man, like it's insane, like
Mhm.
how quick everything has happened, but like how much work has gone into it
Of
too.
course.
Um, but yeah, it's a good feeling.
I feel like people don't even see because you guys know the work that goes into it. We
Yeah.
just watch every week. So
Hmm.
for the fans, it's like, oh yeah, like it makes sense and it goes quick and like you go from one storyline to the next. But like as a wrestler, as the performer,
Yeah.
back like you're like you don't even know what I've been doing, all these
Yeah.
hours I've been putting in, how much my body has changed, like what I'm putting myself through and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's where I say all the time, like pro wrestlers are the craziest people I've ever met in my life, but in a good
Yeah.
way
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because you guys are nuts. Like you do the travel, you do the like,
Hmm.
and it's all sometimes for a little bit of something just to like
Yep.
make you know what I mean. And it's never you didn't just wake up one day and you're like, oh, challenging for the TNA title. Like
Hmm.
absolutely
Hmm.
not. You put your heart and soul and so much work into getting to this point that
Yeah.
it means even more than just a title belt for you. So
Yeah. I
it's
look at it
wild.
as compound interest, right? Like
Yeah.
everything, all these little things over time just build a big thing, right? And like I'll be the first to say I live a very uh I wouldn't say boring, but like I do the same thing every day,
Yeah.
right? I'm just so locked in and so
Mhm.
disciplined with what I do. A lot of my days are the same, and even up to, what I eat, how I work out,
Mhm.
like everything is just so structured, and it's that discipline is what's gotten me here. So
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I'm just getting started and I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I'm excited for you because we're gonna see it, and I can't wait for you to beat Trick to get that title back because he is obnoxious with it. I have to say, and
He
it's
really is.
no one likes to see it on NXT on Tuesdays. Just but I mean, we're in this crazy era right now
Hmm.
where we are talking about TNA and WWE and NXT doing these crossovers, which you never think is going to happen. Hendry showing up at WrestleMania, like just
Yeah.
craziness going on. Trick aside, because we know what you have your sights set on. You've been in this for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
who are some, and like, I'm sure you keep your eye on these young talents too, because you
Hmm.
gotta stay ahead of it. Who
Hmm.
are some I would say people in NXT, especially. Also, you could throw TNA in there as well.
Yeah.
Kind of these young talents that you keep your eye on that you're like, ooh, I want to see them step in the ring over here. I want to go step in the ring with them over
Yeah.
there because they're going to have a bright future.
Yeah. I got to work with TV on Heights, my
Okay.
first match at NXT. That
Hmm.
dude is an animal.
Yeah.
Like he's like a freak athlete. Um, he has so much potential, and I think he's gonna have a bright future. And like he's someone that I hope they really dedicate and put more time into because
Hmm.
he's got it for sure.
Yeah.
Um, who else? Uh, on the TNA side, there's Leon Slater,
I was
right?
just going to say
There's
insane.
Leon.
Yeah.
There's Hotch.
Yep.
He's a beast. Like a lot. I don't. I hope he continues to get a lot more opportunities because he's really good. Casey, as much as I hate his rat ass,
Another
um,
Jersey boy, by the way.
yeah, fucking
Just, yeah.
this dude. Um, no, those are all dudes that have a lot of potential. On NXT side, man, like those guys are like they have such a blessing in a sense of like they're being molded and trained by some of the best minds in the
Right.
world, right? So for me is like take full advantage of that and really like put those things to work, right? Like
Yeah.
I got to go to the PC and see like the training that goes on and stuff like that, and it's awesome. Like they're a machine for a reason, you know, and
Yeah.
they're like creating animals over there. Um, but yeah, like I want to see everyone do the crossover because
Yeah.
I feel like everyone could benefit. Because I always say like the only way for you to get better in this is to work with people more experienced and that are better than you.
Right.
And I think everyone on each side could benefit from working with each other. And like I would love to see like a Worlds Collide pay-per-view with TNA and NXT. That'd be
Yeah.
insane, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like you said, wrestling is changing so much and the business is growing. So who knows, you know, where things will be in a year and
It's
what's going to be
insane.
happening. But I'm excited to be a part. I was talking with a friend the other day and I was like, yo, it's so crazy. Like, remember when we were kids and how excited and
Yeah.
like how much we glossed over the Attitude Era?
Right.
I feel like this era of wrestling is like this kid's generation of like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they're gonna look back on it like, wow, like what a amazing time. And for me
Right.
to be a part of it and to be in it is pretty awesome.
And to just be getting started in it. You haven't even,
Yeah,
you just scratched the surface so far, and it's really
yeah.
just getting started. This is what I think you should do if I was booking you. Okay. I think you go over to NXT, win the NXT championship.
Hmm.
Okay. So that now when Trick tries to talk his shit to you, or you
Yeah,
try
yeah.
like now put both titles on the line, and then you could bring that NXT title back to TNA while he sits there with nothing, and his division now NXT's got nothing over there because you brought it home to TNA. I'm just saying.
That's a money maker right there.
I
I
don't know. Someone's got to hire me. We got to call Tommy Dreamer right now. What is he doing over there?
Yo, I agree. I agree.
But no, I mean, I completely agree with you. I think, I have been a newer fan to pro wrestling. Like, yes, I love it now, but like, I didn't
Hmm.
start watching till 7 years ago. So
Okay.
this is like this era for me where I'm like, it's so cool to be a newer fan, a part of it, watching
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
soaking everything in, because the people I'm watching now are going to be my Mount Rushmore in like 20 years. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And that's
Hmm.
what the young kids are watching, and it's things that we never thought we'd see that we're seeing. So
Yeah.
it is a great time to be a fan. And it's a lame thing to say because it's so corny, but it's so true. And it's a great time to be a wrestler, to have these options and to not have to be, held down to
Yep.
the same person or the same storyline or the same people in the company, and like be able to branch out and show what you can do, because
Yep.
those new eyes on you that maybe didn't know who you were when you showed up to NXT are now, you are put them in check to know who Santana
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
you've been the talk of the town for however long it's been since you showed up there. So
Hmm.
it's pretty cool. Everyone likes to report this, they're all interested now. And what are we going to do with these kinds of things? But that's how it starts.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my question to you, this is always my last question, because I can't keep you forever. We could just bullshit all day,
Yeah.
but you got things to do. Um, for we're 2025, what are your personal, career, everything goals by the end of this year? What do you want to look back on and say that you accomplished for yourself by that time the end of this year rolls around?
Um, First and foremost, I'm always striving to be a better person than I was the day before, you know,
Mm,
and to continue growing as an individual. That's first and foremost, right? Because aside from this wrestling thing could end tomorrow,
yeah.
and all I have left is myself and my family. So as long as I can continue becoming a better person for myself and for them, that's key. Um, as far as my career goes, definitely within 2025, I want to become TNA World Champion. I've made it known, and I could say like I'm on that route right now. You know what I
Trajectory.
mean? Yes, and and yeah, and continue proving um, that I am who I say I am. You know, and like I could sit here with all confidence and say I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world. You know what I mean? And I've proven that against some of the best wrestlers in the world, and I'm gonna continue doing that. So 2025 is becoming a better human being, and continue proving what I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but definitely like I will be TNA World Champion for sure.
Oh, such a good answer. Normally people give me like no specifics of what they want. They're just like, yeah, I just want to get better and I want to do this. And you're like, this is what I want. And
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
that's why I
100%.
like you, because you are a straight shooter and you're
Yeah.
just real about it, because you know, and you're on the trajectory for it. And I can't wait
Yeah.
for the moment to happen. Hopefully it'll be Slam. Just saying.
We'll see. We'll see. But
We'll
my
see.
thing, like you said, you speak things into existence
Yeah.
and you make it happen for yourself. You know
You
what I
believe in
mean?
manifestation, all those good things?
Oh, 100%.
Really?
100%. Because honestly, like everything that I'm doing now is what I spoke about before I came back,
Yeah.
and of course, like you could say it, right? You could say it all you want, but like I've been putting in the work behind it,
Yeah.
and but yeah, it's definitely like this year specifically has proven to me that manifestation is real,
Oh man.
so so I'm excited.
I gotta start doing that. Everyone tells me to start manifesting.
You
You gotta,
should.
you gotta write that, like, don't you write it into existence, put it under your pillow and like sleep on it or something like that?
For me, I just say it.
Yeah.
I say it. You know what I mean? Like like if you say it and you believe it, then
Yeah.
you put in the work behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I love that mindset. You're the best. I appreciate you giving me all the time today. I know you're, like I said, you're super busy. You're all over the place. You got matches to win, people to fuck up. So like
yeah,
I love that you made some time to open up to me and have this conversation with me. You're the best.
appreciate you, Gabby.
Of
Thanks for
course.
having me on.
Of course, anytime, you are welcome back. You are going to be one of the Gabby AF favorites, I think.
Appreciate it.
I think so. Thank you guys so much for listening. Everyone, make sure you watch TNA in Pittsburgh this weekend. Going to be
Yep.
epic on the TNA Plus app. And then, tune into NXT, I guess, too, on Tuesdays. See if we see Santana show back up and beat the shit out of Trick or something. We don't know what's going to happen.
Isn't that the exciting part, right?
That's what you never know what's going to happen. That's why it's so exciting. But thank you all. Everyone have a safe weekend. And until next week, I will see you then.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys.